I have a question then.
Yeah.
I've experienced that. I've been living in that flow and that fun. And I feel like I'm going back to how it was when I was a kid. I figured out things worked out because I was just having fun. And it's so simple. I kept hearing you say it for about 7 years, and I thought, that's silly. And then I actually heard what you said, and I thought, this is it. This is fun.
Well, words don't teach. It's only life experience. But when you hook up with some words that are vibrationally equivalent to the life experience that you've had, and you're able to then start noticing the consistency. So when you get hold of this notion of satisfying thoughts open doors and unsatisfying thoughts open doors to more unsatisfying things. In other words, all thoughts open doors. It's just, what are the doors opening to? More pleasure, more pain, more sense of well-being, less sense of well-being, more feeling of worthiness, more feeling of unworthiness, because law of attraction opens doors. It's just, what are you under the influence of?
Okay, here's what I want to know. I've been allowing more in, and just right now I can feel more as well. I feel like my mechanism, this body, when I feel sources, I'll use the word love. I don't know what other word to use.
No better word,
okay.
except that twists some people's brain into a knot because, because they've only heard the word love when the opposite of it was being offered. Don't you know I love you? Okay.
When I've tuned in to that love, that vibration, I've dropped to my knees. It's been after times where I'm asking for something, and I just finally give up. And then
But you're not giving up desire. You're giving up resistance. That's the difference. That's the difference.
How can I refine this mechanism to accept that? Because even right now, I feel
Little by little by little by little, just a little bit at a time, by one satisfying thought at a time. It doesn't take very long. It's like the analogy of the hills at San Francisco, and there's a car parked at the top of one of those big hills, and you decide, just for self-understanding, that you're going to release the parking brake and put it out of gear, and you're going to just nudge it a little bit from behind and see what happens. You know what's going to happen. It's going to go in the bay because gravity and inertia are going to carry it right down there. But just for fun, you decide to try it anyway. So you nudge it a little bit and it starts rolling. Then you realize, wait a minute, I've changed my mind. You get out in front of it with your body and you just stop it because there's no momentum. So it just bumps up against you and it stops. But you wouldn't want to be at the bottom of the hill trying to stop that. And so that's why satisfaction, it's a soft word. Am I satisfied or not? And if you begin noticing how often you are satisfied. The other day Esther was on an airplane and she was feeling satisfied for no good reason, just because she was satisfied. Well, she was in first class, that's a reason, and had a nice wide seat, and she's feeling satisfied. So she was sitting there and she was thinking to herself how satisfying it was. She has a neck pillow that she really enjoys, and she knows how to position her body in the seat that's really comfortable and get her legs put in just the position where she's so comfortable. And she was just sort of snuggling in, and she thought, I might like my blanket. So she took the blanket that Delta had provided and took it out of its wrapper and put it up over her, and then she snuggled in again, and she thought, there, now that's perfect. And then she thought, well, maybe I'd like my sunglasses too. So she put her sunglasses on and pulled her pillow and snuggled under her blanket. She thought, oh, I am so satisfied. And then a flight attendant came to her and handed her a bottle of water that he had heated in the microwave. And he said, this might make you more comfortable. You might like this. And Esther thought for a moment, did I look old and feeble? And then she thought, no, he didn't come to fix something that was broken. He got caught up in the flow of my satisfaction. Has anybody ever offered you a hot bottle of water on an airplane ever? Really? 10 million miles of flight, and this is the first time that that's ever happened to Esther. But it's also a time when she was, in an exaggerated way, focused upon how satisfied she was. And so the universe is just looking around, well, maybe there's a possibility of even more satisfaction. Let's see if there are any cooperative components in your vicinity that could enhance your experience just a little bit more. That's how it works. Yeah.
In that process, you can really seem like an oddball to others.
Yeah, don't tell them. Don't tell them. It's why it was hard for you. It took you a while to warm up to us. We're odd, we know.
Yeah, yeah, right. So I feel the same way now.
But you don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to explain that you're in the receiving mode. Just get there. You don't have to walk around saying, I'm so satisfied. I'm so satisfied. Because when you're satisfied around people who aren't, it bothers them. Because whenever you are living something that others want, it has the potential of exaggerating their distance from what they want. So that's why you want to be oblivious to them. And you know what holds you back so often, dear hearts? Because you are sensitive to that. You're sensitive to how others feel. And then we love you so much, but stop it. You deliberately lower your own vibration in order to resonate with their dysfunction. But you can't get sick enough to help a sick person get well, and you can't get poor enough to help a poor person become prosperous, and you can't get dissatisfied enough to help a dissatisfied person become satisfied. You teach through the clarity of your example, and when you practice this alignment so that it radiates from you, that's how you uplift the world. Yeah. This is a really good time for a segment of refreshment. So good.